Hey guys, Coldbrew here, back here on the test server, guys, and we have some new champions. First things first is gonna be Gamoran, the Shadowkin support legendary champion. I love this champion. He looks so good, by the way. So good. Like, look at this. This is epic, the way that he looks for a Shadowkin. He looks like a Shadowkin undead hordes for some reason. Like, and his kit is what Battle Khazar's kit should have been, in my opinion. But nevertheless, let's get going. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It definitely helps the channel out. Thank you, guys. So, Gamoran, here this Shadowkin support champion I have built with a mix of speed and accuracy. And I'll explain why once we go through his kit. His A1 has a block active skills. 30% chance goes to 50 when you book it out. 2 hitting attack. That's great. That's great. It's a block active skills on the A1. Great, okay? Nothing too special, but let's get going with his other skills. That's what makes him so special. Thief of Blood is a 100% when booked chance to steal one random buff from each enemy. Then, after stealing, applies a buff spread effect, taking a random buff from this champion and then placing it on all allies. So this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool in terms of the buff spread effect. I think it's the first time we see this in action, and we're gonna see more of this in the future for sure. I love the buff spread effect, but it is very random with this because not only you steal one buff from the enemy team, the buff spread effect applies to a random buff from the champion, not the stolen buff, which is kind of makes no sense in my opinion. But I like that we actually have this. But this skill actually scales of attack, this one also of attack, but this one, his third skill scales of HP, but it's very different. His third skill, look at this, Dread Invocation, can target dead or living enemies. We'll look at that in action in a bit. If the target is dead, places a block revive on them and then attacks all enemies, which is insane, okay? And then each enemy will receive damage equal to 20% of the target's enemies max HP. So enemy max HP damage here, but does not count for boss's minions. So you can use this for boss encounters. Doesn't work on spiralings, for example, which kind of sucks, to be honest. And because this doesn't work, this does the 20% of this champion's max HP in terms of damage. Will ignore defense and shields, but cannot be critical, which kind of sucks. If the target's alive, so if the enemy is alive, then places a True Fear in them and then heals all your allies instead on the enemy's max HP, or if the enemy is a boss, then on your max HP. So that's how it's different. The True Fear debuff cannot be resisted. I love this part, the not be resisted part of the True Fear. It's great, but it's a single target True Fear, which is, it's weird because, I mean, it should have been an AoE, I think. But I do love his kit. It's very different than what we're used to. And then the passive here, Soul Charge. Revives one random ally with 30% HP and 30% turn meter each time an enemy is killed. So the more enemies you're killing, especially in the spider dungeon, the more revives you'll be getting. And that's his kit. Very unique, as I said, no aura, unfortunately. The masteries, I just went with War Master. I'm not really sure of his masteries just yet because of how strange his kit is. He's very much of a support. I don't see a real use for him just yet for clan boss, if any. There might be some use for this, I guess, on the Hydra boss when the heads are dying. Then your allies might be able to be revived, but yeah, it's pretty much kind of random on how you can actually go ahead with this. But let's go over and see him in action. I'll go in the campaign just to show you how the skills look and how they interact, especially his A3. So his A1 looks very cool. Look at this. Look at this. Very cool. Let's look at his A2, which is the buff steal. And you'll see the buff spread effect showing. No, it didn't show now. So I'm guessing I could have shown here because we didn't actually steal a buff. Okay. And then here on his A3 is when you will actually either target a dead enemy or a live enemy. So the dead enemy will actually do damage on the rest of the enemies based on his max HP because these are not boss's minions. So look at that. There's a block revive, and then we do some damage onto them. Let's do another A1 here. And then I can actually do the buff spread now. I should be able to steal this and then get that increased attack, right? I get that increased attack. I lose it because we go to the next round, but whatever. And this is how his skills work, really. So if we go in again with a maybe just a level 1. We'll actually see the revive in action too, because I'll kill the enemies and have this one revive. So let's get going here. So he hits with the A1, just waiting for the enemies to hit me back. Let's do this on 2x speed. Okay, kill that. So once I kill this enemy here, I should see the revive coming in. Look at that, beautiful revive, 30% turn meter, and a big heal then coming up based on our champion's max HP, only if you're fighting bosses, minions, or a boss. So very different kid. Very different kid. I'm enjoying this champion, but I still don't see a use for him, especially for Arena. Arena is not even working at the moment, but I see no point in using him because of his kit. Maybe the buff steal effect is something, but there's better champions that strip buffs out there. The True Fear does something. I would use him as a great support for the Doom Tower. So guys, let's test him in action. Honestly, I don't think that Gamoran here has many uses in the game. I just love the fact that he has a very different kit than what we're used to. Brand new effects, but I still don't see their use just yet. I love the fact that he has a block revive, the same thing that what Lydia has. She has a deny. He has a block revive, which is different in effect, but it will be useful if you want to go that route. I don't see him being used in Arena so much, since he doesn't fit into a 4-man team, really. His kit is very little to actually use in a in an Arena situation. I might be wrong, but I don't see him being used over somebody else. He might be used in more tanky kind of setups, when if one of your allies dies, he'll be there as the reviver, because your team will slowly actually take them out and he'll revive them. But look at that, he is down because of the enemy team. And I actually built him with very tanky kind of sets. I built him with a lot of accuracy and HP. Overall, I don't see anything special on him to consider maxing out over other champions. But of course, if you're just brand new, you get this legendary champion to your account, then you can actually consider leveling him up because of his kit and the revive potential, the buff spread potential, the healing potential, or the block revive potential that he has. Very, very good skills overall, but you know, not amazing in the sense of he will be a game changer for everyone that get him. Okay, definitely will not be a game changer for my account, but it would be something that I would like to have in the sense of completionist and having more legendary champions. So we've got more champions. I know the Demon Spawn didn't need many more champions, but we're gonna get another one. And look at this one. She has a sword sticking out her back, going through her chest. This is the most, and wow, 4 hands. I just noticed the 4 hands. She's tied back at her. This is like an insane amount of effort put into this champion. Insane. She's also tied on her legs or something. This is very metal. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's too much, I think, but I love it. This is definitely not a game for kids. Okay, look at this. The way that this legendary works is so cool, because she is now the queen of healing for the clan boss. So if you were missing a champion for clan boss and you want to get rid of all your lifesteal sets, then this champion will be the one. Let's look at her kit. Very simple kit in terms of the books, by the way. Look at that. 4 + 2 + 2. Very little amount of books required for a legendary champion. Is a refreshing change coming into legendary champions, I would say. Her A1 applies a leech. It's an AoE attack, A1 AoE attack based on defense. So that's great for a support type champion. Then 50% chance of placing the leech is amazing. You need leech, but it's only for 1 turn. So you need to get those constant hits in. You can't be running a slow kind of setup. You can even, I would say, even run an ally attack with Wither, just to make her get more turns in with the A1, apply the leech for sure. And then also have a continuous heal, because this also places 100% chance to place the continuous heal buff on a random ally for 2 turns. It's only 1 ally though. Very specific. Because we're going into her A2, feel no pain, places 60% increased defense. Amazing, right? Amazing. You need that increased defense for the clan boss. Also increase the duration of all continuous heal buffs on all allies by 1 turn. Then instantly activates any continuous heal buff. So it's an instant heal based on the continuous heal buffs you apply. So the more continuous heal buffs you apply with your A1, then the better it is going to be with Wither. If you put in another champion that gives the team continuous heals, then this will even be better, because you'll have a ton of them available to your team. You'll be getting those big heals coming in through this instant activation, but it's on a 3-turn cooldown, and it doesn't provide on its own any continuous heal buffs. So that's why I said an ally attack champion is going to be great with her, because she'll get that extra attack in, get more continuous heal buffs spread around the team, and then heal in that way. Her A3 is a cleanse and then a heal, a big heal based on her max HP, and we'll look at her base stats are pretty big base HP, by the way, on her. So very solid 3-turn cooldown. You can actually even cleanse either the Spirit Clan Boss debuff or the stun from the Clan Boss coming. So a very solid heal over there for sure. 30% of this champion's max HP is an amazing heal. And then if that wasn't enough, she's got a passive, plays a 15% continuous heal buff on the ally with the lowest HP for 1 turn at the start of each turn. So this will basically be like a 2-turn heal if you consider her A2, which is the increase the duration and then also an instant activation. And of course an aura, ally resist by 50 boost. Their masteries, I went for War Master because I will be testing her out in the future in terms of a clan boss build. But looking at her right now, I'm honestly really happy on how she is. She of course would be best if you get Elastic Gifts. You get stuff like Lay on Hands to help with her big heal that she does, and anything that boosts her healing. She does need some accuracy though, so you will need some accuracy for that leech, I would say. And I went a little bit heavy on her defense and crit damage, and I want to test her out right now on in the campaign, let's say, and see on what she can do with that A1. That's her only attack, so don't go too heavy on her damage because she only has 1 skill that attacks, and it's pretty much going to be a waste of gear if you do that. So let's try and find her. Here she is, and let's see what kind of damage she'll be dishing out as a force. As a force champion. Look at that, continuous heal immediately when the fight started on herself. She's the only person in here. So let's see these A1 animations and damage here. Solid. Look at that, 24.5k, nothing too crazy. That animation looks like Tranda's A2, right? Pretty much a copy paste of Tranda's A2. Let's look at the animation on the increased defense. Nothing special. She does that move around like all buffers do. And then the cleanse, oh, the cleanse looks really fun. But yeah, the A1 it's gonna be annoying doing that all the time. But it is hitting for a good amount, 32,000 there on the A1. I think I can actually make her a campaign farmer if I wanted to, which I don't see the reason to. Like you can probably even make her a nightmare campaign farmer if you really want to, with all her healing that she has, the continuous heal buffs. The damage that she does is okay, but because she's forced, she's gonna have an issue on 12-3, and I think even on 12-6 too. I think there's a spirit here somewhere which can actually mess up the run too. So very kind of basic in the sense of what she has. 1 skill for attacking, then the other 2 are for pretty much healing and cleansing. Very unique kit, I would say. And if you do get her, definitely build her for the clan boss. I might be doing something in the future in terms of a clan boss team on the test server just to showcase this out. But definitely a worthy champion to be considered for the clan boss. Alright guys, so now we have Kyoku, the Shadowkin defense-based champion. Look at this legendary, guys. I think she's going to be an amazing clan boss champion again. All 3 champions that they introduced with this patch are quite unique in terms of their kits. Her kit is not any different. Look at the Guardian set that I have on her. I think it's going to be great to have a Guardian set on her. Heavy on the defense would be nice, but still some health, because she is an ally protect champion with a little change in her kit. So let's look at her. Well, A1 first. Attacks 1 enemy. If there's more than 3 debuffs, then she does a triple hit. Amazing. She also applies a weaken. She's got a decreased attack on her A2, which goes to 100% when fully booked. She doesn't need that many books, by the way. So about 8 here, plus another 1. That's 9 books. And if there's no decreased attack applied, then she'll apply an HP burn actually, which is great. but well, she does have a very high chance to actually apply it. So I mean, if she gets resisted, that's the only chance. If she gets resisted or a weak hit, I guess. But a weak hit wouldn't do anything, so the weak hit is irrelevant here. So this is what makes her so unique. Very similar to what Sandlash Survivor has, but this one goes a little bit better. She's a legendary. So look at this. It's a 4-turn cooldown when booked. And the way that this works is 50% ally protection on allies for 2 turns duration. Fantastic, right? But then she also plays a block damage buff on her for 3 turns. It's insane. 3 turns block damage, and then she gains an extra turn. So basically, this skill has a 3-turn cooldown. So you can actually do it because you get that extra turn in there. The bad thing is that if you have any other kind of buffs that give you some kind of benefit, so let's say an increased defense buff on your team that helps your team survive, Kyoku will be basically using up that extra defense buff when doing this extra turn. But this helps the cooldowns of the rest of your skills to go down by 1. So her A2 becomes a 3-turn cooldown if she uses this first and then uses her A3. So she'll actually gain that extra reduction from that extra turn. And she also has a great passive in terms of protection. Every time the champion is hit with a critical hit, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP, and then plays an increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Exactly what Seeker has, except for the heal. Seeker does not have the heal. He just has the increased defense on. I think she's gonna see some use in Arena too, with this kind of unique build in terms of defensive. She's gonna be replacing the Sandlash kind of teams where you see them in Arena. And this chance to critical hit and heal your team doesn't really apply for Clan Boss, because that boss only has a 15% chance to crit, which is very low, but still very much usable, I would say, for much longer fights. You'll eventually get a crit on you, and that heal can come into play. She also has an increased ally defense in all battles by 30%, which is really cool. The way that I would build her is go all the way down here on the defense tree and get Bulwark, for example, for more damage reduction, or go for the Giant Slayer route if you're going to be using her more for Clan Boss. The reason for that is just basically this A1 becomes a 3-hitting attack when you have more debuffs on. So I'll put some masteries on her very quickly, and we'll go into some gameplay just to see her skills on how they work. But this again won't be such a long showcase. Right, in terms of masteries for Kyoku, I went in there with Bulwark. Of course, if you're going for a more PvE centric build, you don't need Bulwark. You're gonna go with more of an offensive build using Giant Slayer because of her A1, which you only need 3 debuffs for that to be a triple hitting attack. So it's pretty much gonna be 100% of the time. If you're building a decent kind of team for the Clan Boss, Giant Slayer would be great. But this one, I'll be showcasing Bulwark, very heavy in terms of protection by Kyoku to your team. And then I went support route here, getting lasting gifts for extending that ally protect, and also that increased defense if that applies. And I think those are the buffs that she applies. The ally protection, block damage will not be extended. Increased defense, yeah, that can be extended. So yeah, lasting gifts does make sense. So let's go over and have a look at her skills and how they work. Of course, this is like a short showcase since I'm showing up all 3 champions that are new, all 3 legendary champions that are new here. So where is she? Here is Kyoku. Let's go in there and see her in action in terms of how her skills look like. So let's do an A1 here. Let's see that. A1 looks very basic, nothing too much there. The triple hitting attack will only apply when you have the debuffs on. The A2 is still an attack again. Look at that. Boom. It actually hits pretty hard. 30,000 there. But remember, I have over 5,000 defense on her. That's why it definitely hits on the hardest side. I wonder if I built her with more damage on how hard this A2 would hit. And then the ally protection should be just very basic. Look at that extra turn there. And 3. Wait, didn't the extra turn also plays block damage buff and then grants an extra turn? Yeah, the extra turn actually made me lose one of the turns. Yeah, that's right. And basically I lose one of the turns and the block damage buff. But it's gonna be great if you use that block damage to your advantage in the sense of teams for the Clan Boss, just so that she can mitigate everything pretty much because of that ally protect, which is gonna be insane for the 50 turns. After the 50 turns, then you're gonna have an issue because block damage is ignored by the clan boss. So very solid kit throughout. I will be trying to work with these champions more and get some clan boss teams going, especially the combination, I think, of these two champions. Where are they? I always miss them. So Kyoku and Wither, both of them together, I think they can give you like a very solid team in terms of healing and support. Very solid addition to the legendary champion pool. We're getting these new champions, but we're not getting many different ways to get them. Guys, thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy this showcase of these 3 legendary new champions that we get, please leave a comment down below, and always subscribe if you haven't already. It definitely helps the channel out. We do have some more epics that I want to showcase, but that will be through a separate video. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys soon. See ya.